Hi, stay tuned as I interview Pastor Mark Foreman, and we talk about the important topic of Christian unity and a ministry that Mark's involved in called One Church. But it's this thing called One Church that you've been sort of involved in, sort of developing down in your area. And the reason why I wanted us to talk about this is because this has been something that's been on my heart for quite a few years. And I think, maybe we have a little bit of similarity here where, at one time in my life in ministry, I was very much sort of I don't know how to even describe it, but it was sort of our group was the special group, the most important group, and we kind of didn't see out beyond the borders of our own movement.
Right.
I mean, we knew there were other churches out there, but that didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because we were doing our thing.
Yeah.
But as time has gone on, and you remember 20 years ago plus now, I moved to the UK and kind of started to have a whole different experience being in another country. Where we didn't have a large presence as a church movement. And subsequently you end up meeting, all kinds of different Christians from a variety of different backgrounds. And you recognize, God is doing some really sweet stuff in a lot of places that you maybe didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
So over the years, I have thought, people have asked me this question, and people will often ask us, guys in our position, something like, well, what's the Lord speaking to you? And quite often when I'm asked that question, I have to say that one of the things for sure at the top of the list is God speaking to me about Christian unity. So that's been something that's really been on my heart. And from everything I've heard, this One Church thing it's kind of the embodiment of that.
So what I did, the evolution of this was I gathered 25 pastors in North County, and I think there was only maybe one other Calvary Chapel amongst those, so they were just a variety. So they said, well, after 3 years, we trust you, Mark. And I said, so we formed a steering committee, made sure I wasn't on it.
Yeah.
And I think I speak maybe once every 2 years at it.
Is that right? Yeah.
And I let them name it. They named it One Church.
One Church, yeah.
And so now there's about 70 pastors in North Coastal County that meet quarterly, and then there's a core of about 14 of them that I personally disciple.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody, like, how do you move in this direction? I mean, first of all, I think it's obviously a heart issue, right? It's something, I know God did something in me that changed my view. He did something in me. And so, I mean, obviously it starts there, but sometimes that process can begin by listening to a conversation like this.
Yeah.
But then practically, where would a guy go? I mean, what kind of a step would you recommend to a pastor who's listening that says, gosh, we need to see something like this in our community?
Yeah, probably the easiest thing is enjoy coffee, just call someone up, and it's amazing. Everybody says yes.
Yeah.
And you have a cup of coffee, and once that happens, or lunch, you move beyond doctrine, and you find out that, wow, we're 99 or 92% the same.
Right.
But you realize they love Jesus. This is my blood brother or sister, and the amount of leverage that we have when we begin to join hands and kind of shaking up the kingdom of darkness is really pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited because you've just sitting here, you've given me some ideas, because I've been thinking myself, how can I be more proactive in this area?